Welcome into the breakdown. Great to have you back. We've got a couple of new faces. Well, new but old faces. We'll introduce them in a minute. It is finals time. Playoffs footy is here in Super Rugby Pacific. Some unfortunate news this week that we've got to get into. Our current All Blacks captain is out for up to 5 months with injury. Devastating news for him. And have the calls been answered about Fehi Fineanganofo? We'll answer all of those questions and more over the next hour on the breakdown.
Stuck together and really proud of everyone.
We did it for you, our families, and our people.
Yeah, we're quite special. So we're out of words.
And they beat the Brumbies in Canberra. Tana Umaga and Moana Pasifika. Huge performance and a massive win in their story.
Crusaders need this if they want to get themselves a chance of a qualifying final at home.
Reese for He just keeps clocking that try-scoring record over to Sevu Reese. They bring some razzle-dazzle to this game, the Crusaders.
The top point fill out. Back in field, oh, that's outstanding. They are on tonight, the Chiefs. Going to score in the corner, AJ Lamb. Sinkinson in the corner, and how about the finish? It's the Chiefs' night, a big win. Blues will travel to Christchurch.
Got a taste of it a couple of weeks ago of what the Crusaders can do in front of their home fans.
3 weeks to go before we name our 2026 Super Rugby Pacific champion.
Oh, I can't wait for the next 3 weeks of Super Rugby Pacific. And I tell you what, we've brought in some extra brain and brawn. Stephen Donald is sitting here, and I say the new old faces. I cannot wait for 60 minutes of scrum chat tonight by two of the wisest men in the game, James Parsons and Stephen Bates. Welcome back to the program, gents. How are you?
Oh, very well. Top of the world, Kirsten. Grateful to be here, Kirsty, especially alongside Stephen.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, he today was just so stoked to be alongside his old captain.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually know he was still alive because I rang him up a lot last year, trying to offer him a bit of support when he was coaching Auckland, and maybe a bit of advice, Kirst, that never returned my call. So great to see him in person again.
Mustn't have made them through, to be honest with you. I actually haven't heard from him since he finished his radio show. He doesn't need to call me anymore, but it's good to see him in person.
Weekly call-ups, we did need to fill the show. Yes. How are you, Jip? Good to see you back.
Very well, yes.
Yeah, after what happened in Hamilton last night?
Yeah, look, the beauty of the final system, we might get 2 licks at the cherry.
OK, well, let's take a look at what is going to happen over the next 3 weeks then. Starting off with the Super Rugby ladder. 11 teams started this competition and now 6 remain. So our top 6, the Hurricanes, Chiefs, Crusaders and Blues. 4 New Zealand teams inside that top 4, followed by a couple of Aussies in the race, the Reds and the Brumbies. The season is now done for the Force, the Waratahs, the Highlanders, the Drua and Moana Pasifika. But arguably the story of the last round was Moana. We will talk about them a little bit later on. Here is what's coming up. We have so much to look forward to. Friday night, it is the Hurricanes taking on the Brumbies, 1 versus 6. In the middle of all of that, this is going to be absolutely fascinating. The Crusaders taking on the Blues, 3 versus 4 down there in Christchurch on Saturday afternoon from 4 p.m. straight into the Chiefs against the Reds at FMG Stadium, Waikato. But if we take a look at this, is Super Rugby Pacific now a 3-horse race? Is that offensive to say that, Beef? And who are these 3 teams?
Well,
the 3 hosting?
Yeah, the 3 hosting, but I wouldn't write off Jip as Blues. There's just enough there. There's certainly one big performance left in them. You look
what
at last
night.
Well, last night you saw them for 30 minutes, absolutely having their share of the game, and the scoreline at halftime didn't reflect the way of the game. They lost about 3 or 4 lineouts inside the Chiefs' 22. Now, if you get those, a couple of them are 5 out. If you get another 10 points, another 12 points, that's a different game. Yes, in the second half, the Chiefs scored some tries, which I'm sure they won't like reviewing on Monday, but there's enough there for 20 or 30 minutes. If they can spread that out for longer parts, then you just never know.
So you saw enough last night from the Blues, and I guess the season, because we know playoff games are a different beast, aren't they, when it's do or die?
I think history shows under Vern Cotter's side, they can get up for the big occasion. You know, we saw it last year when they toppled the Chiefs in Hamilton. I think the biggest thing that they need adjustment, I don't think scoring points is an issue. I think it's obviously stopping them. Against the New Zealand sides in particular, they've conceded a lot of points, and a lot of it's individual jumping out of system, jamming when others don't jam. So if they can just be a little bit more patient, like I know the game is won and lost on the gain line, but sometimes you've just got to accept when you're beaten and almost use the sideline as your friend to then reset and go. So I think if they can sort out what we saw was the best defensive side in the comp, for 5-6 weeks. The system hasn't changed. The people haven't changed. If they can find their mojo and get some belief and maybe just focus on your own role and trust inside and out, they're good enough.
Yeah, I think I touched Beef, great point around the line. I think, for me, it's the set piece. That cracked a little bit at stages, both line out and scrum. You've got to remember too, if you are not winning your set piece, what you're doing is you're giving the ball to the opposition. So if the ball's got the opposition, the more time you have to defend, the tireder you are getting. So if you can win a couple more line outs, there are a couple of scrums that went astray. If you can win that, all of a sudden the possession stats change and then there's less fatigue in what you're doing as a defensive unit. And I think that can really help them.
How did I know we were going to get into set piece so early on in this? But look, I know how important it is, and I joke about it. But do you think there'll be any mental demons from what happened in Hamilton last night when you go down to Christchurch in a week's time? Does that have any impact? I
think if you had to go back down to Hamilton, there might be, because let's be really straight. I agree with Beav there. The Blues are pretty good for half an hour. Don't say, they were hopeless, they were no good. They're pretty good for half an hour. The worrying thing is, how good were the Chiefs?
Their second team.
They
had 8 people out.
But that's the whole depth they've got in the squad. That's the squad rotation. They were awesome, and they really were. The Blues let themselves down a couple of reasons, but the Chiefs were good. And I think the Blues will take it as a bit of a challenge, to go down there to Christchurch and try and knock one over,
I think you've got to also look at, the Chiefs were rewarded for effort off the ball. If you look at Sinkinson's kick, he just kicked and he chased and he got rewarded for that hard work. 9 times out of 10, that ball doesn't come back to him, but he would put himself in the contest. Same with Jacobs kicking behind. Fehi Fineanganofo, he chases, he gets the bounce, so that effort is rewarded. That's something that I think they can bring into their game. We've seen this season, and it's not about, I suppose, building the Blues up or pitching how they can win. Don't make no bones about it. Going down to Christchurch, the way the Crusaders are playing and this new stadium, the atmosphere, it's going to be a hard journey.
It's sort of set up for New Zealand teams though now, isn't it? When you finish top 4 and you have the lucky loser format, if the top 3 all win their games, then the Blues go through regardless of what happens. And I'm not saying that they're not going to win down in Christchurch, but that's the new format. Yeah, that's the format. But I mean, if you look at the top 4, it's those 4. So if it was just only 4 and there's a semi-final, then you've got the right 4, haven't you, really? And let's be honest, if you're talking about who's going to really rattle this finals competition from deeper outside of those 3, it's the Blues. What about the Crusaders? They absolutely pumped. And I know the Chiefs didn't put their number 1 team out there, nor did the Hurricanes. But did they make a statement or what in Christchurch on Friday night? That finals footy, they're coming for you? I think they've just continued on their last month of footy. Obviously, it's coincided with the fact that they've got the new stadium and they're filling it out every time, and there's a feel-good factor about that. But you've got the likes of Havili and Sevu Reece stepping up. I think Hotham's been great the last month as well. And you just can't underestimate the fact that they're starting to get people back on deck. Yes, there's the Will Jordan injury, which is unfortunate, but all of a sudden they've got a fairly full roster and the confidence is sky high at the moment for them. And we always knew that they were going to be here. Just on that, how good is it? Is it 4 times in a row it's been sold out? Yeah. How good is that? No, new stadium, new buzz around, sold out 4 times in a row. That's awesome, it really is. Yeah, that is amazing. The Will Jordan factor, how big a factor is that going to be when you talk about the Crusaders' title hopes in 26? They can still win it, but he's one of the world's best rugby players. He scores tries no one else can. He would put the fear of God into opposition defensive systems. You would be constantly aware of where he is, and he would, I guess, stress a lot of D coaches out during the week of saying, let's identify this is where he's going to pop up and all the rest of it. So there's no doubt it's a huge, huge loss for them. It is, but I think the essence of the side is David Havili. The form, when he plays well, the Crusaders play well, and he is in red hot form. The counter-attack tries, he played a big part in. The second man play tries, he played a big part in. The body's emotion, Johnny McNichol was on. He was on the job. Dallas McLeod, Sevu Reece has come into his own. They do have threats, and they're a system-based side. They are so system-based that the next man up sort of philosophy doesn't impact them as in other sides that rely on instinct. How about Sevu Reece and his performance? And what about the goal kick? The goal kick, I know. That was outrageous. You see that, Beef?
Yeah, look, I mean, we never like seeing people take the mickey out of goal kicking. It's a fine
come on.
skill. But
He kicked when he was going through school in Fiji.
yes, no, like his
Did he what?
you talk about Havili being so important, I guess, being the heartbeat of that Crusaders. So Sevu, and when Sevu's on and his energy's at a level which is you saw on Friday night, everything goes with him, and he is just so busy. It's the thing is, he is such a busy footballer, and obviously he's got the brilliance to finish things off too.
Here it is. Talk through that. That's not taking the mickey beef.
Yeah, look, the
A little bit
reverse
leaning
fade.
back.
The reverse fade.
Looking all lean
Yeah,
back.
I mean, you'd really want it to shape the other way, but look, Sevu will take that.
You take those extra 2 points.
Yeah, you take them. You take them any way you can.
He's 100% off the tee.
You talk about him, Beav, and you talk about George Dyer without the front rowers there as well. You talk about those Fijian lads. They give the team some kind of energy off the pitch as well that we don't get to see. You know what I mean? Yes, every now and then you see it pop up. So mate, that is to be great for that environment.
Batesy, with your coach's lens on, talk to us about the Hurricanes in 2026 because they've been near on unbeatable. They're now top of the table. So long as they keep winning, they may get 3 games over the next 3 weeks all at home. Can you see any side able to beat them? And how would you go about it?
Yeah, I can definitely see like they're the pinnacle at the moment, but I don't think they can lock it up and lock up the trophy. I do think the obvious people to beat them are the Chiefs at the moment. I think they're the biggest threat to the Hurricanes. What I really enjoy and what teams have to manage when they play the Hurricanes is 2 things. Just the raw power of their forward pack. You look at their front row, you don't want them running at you. You look at their loosies, you don't want them running at you. You look at Warner Dearns, he just parallels the middle of the line, defensive line out and goes, I dare to try and throw it anywhere near me. I'm going to get it. You know what I mean? So they cut off possession to the opposition, and then we know what they've got on the flanks and stuff like that. So, man, the raw power to me and their ability when they attack to have multiple things going on at the line to be able to pin defenders so they do get those one-on-ones is impressive.
Batesy, I'm sure there are a lot of people sitting there, Chiefs and Waikato, that said the exact same thing about your loose trio back in the day.
I just cleaned a few rucks.
But when you're talking about this forward pack, is Batesy right? Like,
Yeah.
you actually don't want these guys running at you?
Whopper's got them humming. I think, you know, you've got Newmere, you've got Asafa. Like, when they're flying, you've got Lomax coming back. The loose forwards speak for themselves. And I think the biggest thing that I've loved about the Hurricanes this season is more so their smarts, their rugby smarts. Like, they haven't overplayed in their own half. They're the least penalised side. So they've had the most turnovers, but they're least penalised. So the decisions they're making in and around the contact area, whereas the one area where the Chiefs would probably be the favourites to disrupt them, they just, you know, even if they don't get it their own way, they can beat you on the edge with lines. Oppositions can bring line speed. They can beat you on the edge even when they're on the back foot. And then when they play on top of you, they can beat you on the edge or through the middle. So they're going to be a hard team to counter, especially at home.
You just hope they don't go into their shell. You know, like, they are the team with the guaranteed one life. Yeah. And, like, there's no... I mean, will they win it? For rugby's sake, they have been literally the best watch you can imagine. And, you know, let's hope that they just, all of a sudden, because it's the finals footy, that they don't just sort of go back to playing what perceived finals footy looks like.
It's interesting you say that, because when you look at the stats, they've actually had the most entries, but probably not the biggest conversion rate in the 22, and they've had the highest turnovers. And I think that's what you're alluding to is, like, you've got a chance. They've chanced their arm all season, and they've had a lot of errors, and they haven't converted everything. But because they've created so much, they've converted more than the opposition.
So if they're going to win it, they're going to keep playing this great rugby.
Do it there.
Don't
in winter.
change.
Yeah,
in winter.
Have they got a roof in Wellington? Everyone's got a roof these days, haven't they?
Tell you what, if you missed anything from across round 16 of Super Rugby, here is They Said It.
Were you nervous?
I was packing my pants, yeah. It's this time. Yeah, I was packing my pants, but he's got the goods.
Congratulations, the daughter during the week. How exciting was that?
Yeah, it's good. You know, if I play bad tonight, I play my kids, no sleep.
How good?
Well, we were just talking about this guy's match. You know, we were going to talk about the game. Come on, bro.
Did you take over the Red social media account maybe Wednesday night? Because I was watching Origin and somehow Les Kiss
Did you see the shot at goal?
came up on the Red social. Well played.
That kick at goal, I wouldn't have put it on there if I did it. The boys took the piss out of it, didn't they? So it's a bit of fun, but anyway.
You're a boy from the Waikato region. Tell me, is it Chiefs Mana tomorrow night or what? From 7:05 to about 9:30, I would say Chiefs Mana. After that, no go there, eh?
It's been a real pleasure. Appreciate that. Good. Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, mate.
He's got a couple of different photos here. He's got a mask of Hunter Paisamo in the back.
Thanks to Canterbury who have come up with this special boots. Yeah, we'll definitely, hopefully they can get a few meat pies tonight.
Special boots. I never got any special boots for my 100th.
I'll get you some special boots, Marty. Don't worry about that.
Oh, such a good performance from Sever Reece, who's been such a great player for the Crusaders for a number of years now. Some really unfortunate news, though, for one of the Crusaders' best, Scott Barrett, and of course our current All Blacks captain, is that he requires surgery on his back. He's tried everything possible to try and get his back right and avoid surgery, but unfortunately it's ended on the operating table. So he will be out of action for 3 to 5 months. If it is the longer, then he will miss that tour to South Africa. Firstly, Batesy, how devastating is this for a player to hear that type of news?
It's terrible for him because you think about what he's missing, potentially,
Yeah.
what he's missing out on that tour to South Africa. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. How good would it be to, like, an old-school tour? So for him, that's really niggly, obviously, and disappointed. And then you look at the wider picture as well. For Dave Rennie in the group, there was a guy who might have been his captain, might not have been, but he would have definitely been around that leadership group somewhere. So Renz would want to set some standards and get some involvement straight away. Now, potentially, there's a guy who's not going to be involved at all, not even in the same country as the All Blacks, which is a bit of a blow for the organisation as well.
So there's two things here, right? There's Scott Barrett as the player, and all of us are presuming that he would have been part of any match day 23, and then there's also the captaincy. How big a loss is he in terms of that match day 23, or his leadership and experience?
Oh, look, I think it's huge. Like, in terms of test match level experience, the cauldron that they're potentially going into in South Africa, you know, like I said a few weeks back, like, I think he walks back, and even though he's coming off a sabbatical, he was definitely going to be in the squad. So you know what he offers, you know, like, he's just rock solid. And I suppose the physicality at test match level is a different intensity, and you're going to have to bring in someone that doesn't have that level of experience to combat probably the most physical side in the world.
You know exactly what you want in a lock, right? You were throwing at them for, 30-odd years. Do we have the locks to be able to replace him? Like, if you put names down on a sheet, what are the types of players that you're looking for?
Look, I obviously height and size, but you've got some pretty set test match players. You've got Tupou Vaa'i, who's just like probably come off his best year. I think Josh Lord is definitely entered the test arena now and dominated on the end of year tour and the opportunities he's given. You've obviously got Patrick, who's shown his ability. So there's more than enough there. You know, where Fabian Holland sits, you know, in terms of that tour and his injury, he'll be thereabouts. But I think, like, look at Naitoa Akoi's performance last night. Like, he was absolutely exceptional. Jamie Hanna down at the Crusaders on the weekend. So it is probably an area that, yes, we're a little bit light in terms of the experience at test match level, but the beauty of the All Blacks 15 is they've created opportunities to get these guys, I suppose, that next level up experience.
Could you see some of these new names that Jip is mentioning potentially be named in that All Blacks team?
Oh, I think probably all of them that he's just named will be there. You know, you got to play someone. And for me, if you're going to South Africa, you want a big bopper. You know what I mean? And that's why someone like Paddy, I reckon, is so valuable, because he's your big, tight head lock that gets us going forward. And does he do good scrums, Jim?
Oh,
let's talk about scrums again, eh?
Let's clear out
he does good scrums.
Tell you what, he can win a collision.
Yeah, he does good scrums as well, I think.
Yeah.
You want to weigh in on this, Beef?
Oh, I just think it's huge news. The Barrett fact is huge news. He would have been, like, if he wasn't in the 15, he's in a trifecta. He's one of our toughest, hardest experience, as Jip's mentioned. And, like, I don't think you can underestimate what they're going into. And if we're going to win the series over there, we're going to have to do very well in that tight 5 area where they've got probably 4 or 5 guys all up around sort of 80 or 90 caps minimum. And we've just lost our All Black captain. So it's massive news.
Just on that, I'll say, and whether he's captain or not, you know, that doesn't matter for this discussion. But let's just say, for argument's sake, he wasn't. Like, he had some tough times as All Black captain, you know what I mean? So let's say someone else was captain. What a great balance he would be for if there was a new All Black captain. I'm not saying he wasn't, but what a great balance he would be.
But I guess Dave Rennie, right, he doesn't have a whole lot of time before the Rugby World Cup. It starts in September next year. So he is going to have to name his leadership team, and I don't think He can't wait 5 months, can he, Beef?
No, but I mean, if Scott Barrett's not there initially, it's not a tough sell to the other 4 or 5. Hey, we're just going to add this guy who's got 80 or 90 caps and he's also been the All Black captain before. I don't think that's an issue.
Okay, let me put it another way then.
Is it to say that he's not going to be involved? Like, you've seen it over time, like when guys of his experience have injuries, they still spend a lot of time in and around the environment and blooding that next talent.
Can he be a water boy? You know what I mean? Can he go over as a water boy?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's a great point.
An assistant line-out coach, I don't know. You know?
I guess what I was trying to say, does this just hand the keys to the castle to Ardie Savea? Playing at Kobe right now, won the semi-final, by the way, against Suntory, straight into the final, which I'm sure you've been keeping an eye on.
They hammered them. Something like 70-20. You played for Suntory, didn't you, Beef?
We were champions.
Oh, okay, so I was just checking.
We used to beat Kobe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Player of the tournament between Brodie Retallick and your Ardie Saveas, by all accounts, but I mean, it's his captaincy now, isn't it?
Well, I would say so. Obviously, you don't know what Renz is thinking, but I would say so, and I'd also say that the fact that they're in the same city and the same team together, they started to talk about a couple of things.
Okay, Scott Barrett's not the only injured player in New Zealand at the moment. You've already mentioned Fabian Holland. Of course, he tore his ACL. We're still waiting for him to return to rugby. But there's a number of players on the sidelines right now. George Bell, Du Plessis, Karifi, Ollie Norris, Amoni Narawa and Leroy Carter haven't been seen for a number of months now. Fletcher Newell picked up an injury over the weekend, whether or not he comes back to play this weekend. And as we know, Will Jordan will play no further part in the Crusaders campaign. Is there any position that you're worried about at the moment, Jip, from the injuries that we currently have in New Zealand?
I think the beauty of this season, it's like hard to knuckle down a 34, like because of the week-to-week nature of form and competition in each area. Like ideally, those are some pretty key players. Like you obviously want them available, but is it that bad? No. And I think World Cup only just around the corner. If you look at, I suppose, the South African model, the depth they've built is what has set them up for moments like this. And I think that competitive nature just gives guys an opportunity to say, hey, I'm test match ready. And if we can build that stock and depth ready into 2027, it's not a bad place to be.
Well, there's another 3 weeks for players to say, hey, I am test match ready before that All Blacks team is named. More to come over the next 3 weeks. The playoffs are here and you can watch them all live and exclusive on Sky.
11 teams started the Super Rugby season with great expectations back in February. Now we're down to 6.
The Hurricanes are top seeding in the qualifying finals. They'll take on the Brumbies at Henry Stadium in Wellington.
Why not? Oh, Mio Myers here. Anything they cannot do at the moment.
On Friday, the Crusaders will host the Blues.
For Bauer in his 100th, George Bauer! AJ Lamb just kept going.
And the Chiefs will have the Reds.
Gets the ball away. Oh, it's a spectacular ball. Pritchard scores. Osititi. They didn't land a fingernail on him.
Often spectacular, certainly never dull rugby. About to come to a head.
And Satiti, now has he got the speed?
And Sammy Penny-Pena, one of the form players in that Chiefs line-out. And then breaking through. Oh, Leo Willie did well to hang on to that.
Josh Morby got his pass away, and Karifi, what a try that is.
The Blues tight forwards and Lucy's having a field day tonight at Eden Park.
As All Black selection nears, the talk intensifies, and someone who has very much entered the discussions this season.
Okay, Maiano, welcome back to The Breakdown. Look, when you see a montage like that, you've just got to think, how blessed, Batesy, are we with loose forwards in this country at the moment?
Yeah, there's heaps, isn't there? There really is. That's probably been an area of strength to us for quite a long time, to be fair, but there's plenty of good ones out there.
Why do we produce so many good ones?
Not quite fast enough to play on the back, so we're playing the loose forwards, maybe, something like that. I don't know.
Okay, well, it is time now for Quick Ball. This is when we give you 3 topics. Well, we give these guys 3 topics, but sure, you can play along at home as well, and we want some quick, sharp answers. So the first one, coming off the back of those loose forwards that we're talking about, is Anton Segner going to be an All Black in 2026? We'll go around the table, starting off with you, Batesy, since you know this position well.
How quick is quick?
Well, I know you're actually upset about this, aren't you?
See, that's why I don't want to quick. Yeah, I think he will be. I think if Ren's talked about back in game stuff. If he's true to his word, there is no other better person in the game in his back and play stuff than Anton Segner. So breaks me a little bit, but I wish the best for Anton.
Well, because it actually impacts you at domestic level, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does.
Being the coach of Auckland.
Yeah, he does. And Anton's he ticks every box. He's a good rugby player. He's a fantastic human. He's a great leader. He's got great standards. So he ticks every single thing you want. And love to have him in our NPC campaign, but I'd love to wear a black jersey as well.
Carry clean is big for Dave Rennie, and he's 75% of the time when he carries, he gets gain line. That's the best of any loose forward in New Zealand. It's pretty straightforward. He will play this year. Whether it's the 34 or the 44 is probably the question.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's all well and good. Yes, we see this absolute superstar and we all would love to see him in there, right? But you're also then going to leave some players out because there are so many incumbent All Blacks loosies already in New Zealand.
Yeah, absolutely. And
who do you leave out?
I mean, he's been fantastic. His case is incredible what he's put forward. But let's not forget, we presume Artie's probably going to be the 7. So that's your starter locked up, and then you've got 5 other spots to fill as far as your squad goes. So it's not going to be easy. Batesy touched on it. We've got so many qualities, so he certainly deserves it. But sometimes, it's not easy to get in there.
OK, well, we've got a lot of quality coaches in New Zealand as well. The Crusaders' coaching job was up for grabs from next season onwards. Rob Penny made it clear that this would be his last season in charge. They have announced the new coach as Scott Hansen, who, up until recently, was an assistant coach of the All Blacks. But things got a little bit awkward this week around the timing of the announcement. Have a listen to this.
Oh, a bit disappointed the news is out. But it's just the reality of the situation. So now that it's out, yeah.
Were you thinking of staying on as well on the other side of that?
Not really.
How much of a distraction is what's happened in the last 24 hours to the group?
None.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because it's our understanding that a lot of people weren't aware that this had even been confirmed.
Oh, I think the important people were aware, so won't be a distraction at all. Oh, so many memories, but the job's not done yet. We've still got a few weeks to go, and that's the focus.
OK, so I don't know about any of you, but I felt really awkward watching that press conference. Batesy as a coach, how'd you feel? Oh, you loved it?
Yeah, it's good. Awkwardness is good.
What do you read into that?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, what I do know is it's really hard. Rugby's such a small circle.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep anything quiet. It really is.
So they couldn't have waited until the end of the season.
Well, they could have.
Because the news was out.
I reckon they went because it was starting to get leaked here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it's getting leaked here or getting leaked there, it's better just to front foot it.
And does it really matter that now they know who the coach will be? Won't impact them at all, will it, as players?
Didn't on the weekend.
But based on the way they play, I'd organise another awkward press conference because I reckon it was a winning formula.
Does the interviewer not know her history around Rob Penny? Like, she's got quite brave considering what's happened to a couple of other people in the past.
What I would say around Rob, like, yeah, he had one tough year there. Then they won. And, mate, they're going pretty good at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, so say what you want to say, mate, they're going pretty good at the moment. They won last year, so...
You'd put him back in there?
Oh, it's not my choice, but, yeah, like, yeah. I'd put my son's under-5s coach in there and see how they go, actually.
Let's take another look at that Super Rugby table. The Crusaders, yes, they are going very well under Rob Penny at the moment. Top 4 side, as we know. But take a look at how the standings look after 16 rounds. The regular season is out of the way, and I want you guys to answer one simple question. Who do you think was the biggest disappointment in Super Rugby Pacific this season? Beav, we'll start with you.
I honestly, with the team sheet, expected more from the Queensland Reds.
Oh, yes, we know this. Every week you were saying they were just smoky.
Well, they got a international star loose forward trio. McDermott's injury hasn't helped. They had internationals at 10. They had locks of international standard. They ticked a whole lot of boxes, and they can
haven't
still
delivered for you, even though they're
not for my predictions. But look,
what if they tip up the Chiefs this weekend?
Well, all of a sudden, then yes, they have delivered on what they were. But right now, at the start of the year, I'd have had them higher than 5th.
Okay. What about you? A team that hasn't quite lived up to the hype, do you think, Jim?
I don't know why I always expect so much from this team. Maybe it's because we're big city teams, but the Waratahs squad, and when you read it on paper every year, you just go, man, they've got and I know Suoli was out for a bit, but they just seem to have a lot more depth, but they're just so hot and cold.
Did they spend all their money in the back division, though, and nothing up front?
But they've got Moana over there. Like he's an explosive ball carrier. They've Fehianganofo. They've shown enough in the Type 5 to win. Like they've had games where you're like, wow, they're on, they're back, and then they just have these games where they just almost expect to win. They're frustrating, but purely because my predictions as well. I had them in my 6. So
yeah, you weren't the only one that had the Waratahs in their 6. Take a look at this from earlier in the season.
I wasn't going to go final, I was going to go top 4, but I'm going to go with my man Millsy here, and I'm going to put a name on it. The Tars will be that
Funnily
team.
enough, I did type that down at home. I typed that down at home and I said, no, there's no chance the Waratahs.
Tars will be that team.
I did. I went, there's no chance.
Back yourself, mate. Come on, mate. Back yourself.
You stuck your neck out, Batesy?
I was just agreeing with Mills to support him. I was like, yeah, because Jeff was into Millsy, and I was like, nah, Millsy, I'm with you, mate. But I'm with Jeff. I thought they'd be way better. And you've got to remember, this is a team that the Australian Rugby Union want to do well. And when they need to do well, want whatever. And they actually loaded them with a few players that have come out of the Rebels as well. But I don't know, maybe, as Jeff said, big city team. I'm not sure what went on, but you could see that Dan, the coach, was frustrated too.
Because we're quite positive on the show, I just want to quickly flip that question on its head. Who surprised you? Would you say a team like the Force, Beef?
Yeah, to be fair, if the Force had made the finals...
Wouldn't have surprised you?
No, but I think that would have been a bit more of a concern. They have all the, I guess, the ingredients to actually be a bit of a threat on any particular finals night, with that Pack and Donaldson probably been the best Aussie 10 all year. So, yep, they've had a great sort of last 6 weeks, I reckon.
Well, Moana Pasifika, they did finish 11th of 11 teams, but they did pick up a last win of the season. Could that be the last time ever that we see Moana Pasifika in Super Rugby? We certainly hope not. But Mills Muliaina caught up with their coach, Whaalongo Tana Umaga.
Mahalo levels, so yeah, man, it has been a bit emotional. It's a bit of a, as they talk about, that emotional roller coaster, and just riding it with the players, really. All our staff and everyone in together. A lot of uncertainty, as people talked about, and with the help of NZR, they've kind of steadied the ship for us, and given everyone some certainty around, whether we're going to be able to eat for the next few weeks. There's still a little bit to go, but in terms of being able to provide opportunities for our people and for our youth, that's what I'm proud of.
Moana Pasifika, massive win in their story.
And Ren's often has talked a lot about culture. It's not just about sort of getting guys along and believing in what you're doing. There's other aspects to that. And is that something that the All Blacks are going to try and implement too and lean to?
As you said, Ren's is huge. In every team he's been a part of, what I've heard and what you've seen, how those teams perform, all of them talk around how great he is making players feel like they're part of this journey. They're not just there on the ride. And so, getting that engagement's important. Understanding who you are and what you represent's important, but also making sure that you understand that, man, this is my time to leave a bit of yourself in that, part of that legacy. And I think that's important to me too. In terms of that culture, but it's always important. But in the end, you've got to get out there and play the game. That's what people want to see.
Like someone like Artie, a lot of that leadership off the field is so important, right?
Yeah, totally. With Ards especially, he's such an empathetic person. He feels what the players are feeling, and he's a good voice for the players too. These young guys who come in, they won't say anything.
They're different these days?
Oh, yeah. That's not in a bad way. That's just different. It just means that you've got to adapt. And making sure that their voice is heard the way that they want it heard, but also them understanding, this is what we're about, and how are you going to add to that? Not, I'm going to come in and I'm going to change the world, That happens over time.
But you did karate, and you're a Kalakia guy, right? Black belt. Was that sort of something you're going to look and try and implement when you're in your coaching stuff?
As you know, when you grow up as a young Pacific Islander, you grow up on these Chinese kung fu movies, Bruce Lee, and those were my first heroes who I looked up to, because that's what I do, sitting with my dad.
Yeah, nice.
Watching those with voiced over that didn't match up with the lips that were moving. I was, how can he speak English but his lips don't move like that? I got into jiu-jitsu because, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because they don't punch or kick anyone, and I didn't want to get hit in the head or kicked in the legs, but for me it was a good way to keep healthy. But I also liked the ethos and what it did for you mentally. When you go there, you can't focus on anything else. For an hour, I'm just focusing on what I'm doing here, because otherwise I might get hurt if I'm not, I'm not engaged in it. I wish I'd done it when I was young.
Yeah.
You know, learning around body movement and leverage and things like that. It's been a big part of my health regime.
Some exciting times, right now, considering where the All Blacks have been. So what does success look like in the All Black environment for you?
The ultimate goal is winning the World Cup. That's why we're in it. But as we know, within New Zealand, we also expected to win every test. And as a fan of the All Blacks, we've probably lost a bit of our shine. I want to, start rubbing that jersey a bit and bring the shine back to it.
I appreciate your time, and a lot of it says a lot in terms of bringing that shine back into the black jersey also, but wish you all the very best, and thanks for your time.
No, I appreciate it. You can make us some money.
Nothing else. Good to see you, brother.
Always nice to see old mates catching up. But I tell you what caught my attention there, jiu-jitsu, black belts. I tell you, I wouldn't want to go on the mat with Tana Umaga. How about you, Jim?
No, I wouldn't want to.
Would you be putting your hand up?
Unfortunately, I was forced to put my hand up one pre-season and got absolutely dominated. And I do not think he was trying, but Matt Duffy had come from the Storm his first year over, and they had a doozy, man. It was like 5 minutes, and everyone was just like, "Oh, are these guys all right?" And it was
Matt
just
Duffy versus Tana Umaga. I feel like that is completely off balance.
I came in a little bit too cocky because I was doing well, and then I didn't know he was like a master at it, and soon enough I was grasshopper.
Yeah, I bet you'd be going nowhere near that, Beef. But you have been a big fan of Moana Pasifika from the day they landed in Super Rugby Pacific. They delivered on the weekend. Sensational fashion. We hope that's not the last time we see them in the competition.
No, absolutely. I mean, from that point of view, you just look at the last 3 or 4 weeks where their future is well and truly up in the air, and the resilience these boys have shown to go against the odds. In the last couple of weeks, they essentially would have beaten the 2 finalists in the Reds and the Brumbies. Got the Brumbies, toughest place to go on many road trips in Super Rugby. Got the job done there. Got it done in the last 10 minutes. You want to talk about resilience and resolve and a group that's together, and this is brilliant. And let's hope that that's just the end of their season, not the end of their entity.
Don't you think, though, the awesome thing is when the pressures come on, I reckon that's when you see you're a true character, and they've played their best footy. Since the blow up publicly, they've like galvanised, come together, played their best footy. Like, how big is the ceiling of Tupou Ta'iloa? When Ardie Savea does a chip over, or Fehi Fineanganofo does a chip over, and it comes off like it's headline news. Like, he did it with ease to Penny, and if it wasn't a forward pass, it would have led to a try. There's 22 years of age.
There's another Lucy to add to the list, right?
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, and I really do hope that Moana survive. I do wonder if they need to work out, not they, but we need to work out what the purpose of having Moana in the competition. Is it be competitive? Is it to feed island nations? Is it to give people within New Zealand a different pathway? What is the purpose of it? But just from my point of view, I just really hope they survive. I think as a rugby community, we are better to having Moana in what we do. And at a time where rugby is, it's got its challenges, 100% rugby's got its challenges, I think as a community, we need to work together rather than trying to isolate a certain part of the community. We're better fit to have them in.
Yeah, it's beautifully said. You talk about challenges in rugby. One of the challenges is trying to keep people here in New Zealand, right? And this year, Fehi Fineanganofo had supposedly signed this contract with the Newcastle Red Bulls to play in the Premiership at the end of Super Rugby. This is one of the best players going around this year. Well, rumour has it, Beef, he's staying and that he is out of that contract. If this is the case, and it sounds like where there's smoke, there's fire, what does this mean? Is he in the All Blacks?
Oh, look, has he been shoulder tapped? You don't know. We could possibly presume that he does, but also it might actually be the individual. And he's now had a run in Super Rugby, realised that he is well and truly this level as he can master, and he's probably thought, what am I going to go live in Newcastle for when I'm literally within grasp of becoming an All Black? Even if he hasn't been told, he's going to start to realise, I tell you what, why not, hold fire for a couple of years, because overseas will always be there, but I could fulfil a dream as opposed to just going now and have regrets for the rest of my life.
These are the type of people that you like, the ones that the black jersey means a lot to them.
Oh, absolutely, and he's probably given up a nice contract to go and be a Red Bull player, but why not try and be an All Black?
Yeah,
what do you reckon?
Look, I do think it's more down the lens of, he's a kid that backs himself.
Yeah.
He's come through the Sevens program, he's worn the black jersey, he knows what it means. He wants to be an All Black, and I think he's gone, actually, I am the best in the country. like, and maybe looked at his option and seen what he can do. I don't know. Like, I agree. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and if you say the rugby rumour mill, it's a beauty.
He's been shoulder tapped. Let's be honest.
Good on you, Batesy.
He's been shoulder tapped. But if he has a hammer, it's irrelevant.
I wouldn't have shoulder tapped and said you are starting against South Africa.
I think
I don't think so. No.
He would have had to.
But what I reckon they want to do is they want to take him to South Africa. I think if he's staying, and I think there's argument even if he wasn't staying, but if he's staying, they will take him to South Africa, and then Ren's being Ren's will teach him, mate, this environment's so good, mate, why don't you stay? You know, and that's what they want to do. And then who knows, like between who's your wingers, him and Caleb Clark, one on each. Who's your kicking at the back, though? That's your issue. But, mate, he's there or thereabouts.
Oh, lucky we've got Batesy on for some cold, hard honesty in this situation rather than the beating around the bush from either side of me.
Maybe we've got the inside word that he decided. Maybe.
Thank you. Okay,
maybe.
so, but he is staying is basically what we've decided. What does this mean for other wingers, though? Like your Sevu Reeses of the world, we know he's going overseas. We've talked about Josh Morby in recent weeks, Rico Ioane, and people like this.
Yeah, I think form... It's very clear Dave Rennie said, I'm picking on form. So it's the best players are going to get picked.
No loyalties.
I just think it's a good thing, though. Like, it's not a development team. Like, it's not a guarantee. The All Blacks is never guaranteed. Like,
I don't think it means anything for those boys. Like, if one of them goes and skins them in the next 2 weeks in a finals game, then he becomes the number one. Just as easy as that.
Well, a couple of them can't. Rico's not in New Zealand. Morby's in his own team. So it's only one that would be skinning him.
If
Reese,
Sevu makes another 3 statements, then he'll be picked.
You never know. You never know what can happen, do you? Stay with us here on Sky Sport. There is still plenty more to come, including our breakdown team of the week. And tomorrow night from 7 p.m, live on Sky. You do not want to miss Crowd Goes Wild. It is back with these two great human beings, Storm Purvis and Andrew Mulligan, plus Sean Johnson on League Lounge with the girls, Millie Hufanga and Gail Broughton. No matter where they go on that Sevens World Series, they are back in title contention tonight. The semi-finals, they take on Australia at 8 p.m. on Sky Sport 2. You don't want to miss it. That is live from Spain, Day 3. How did you not get on that trip, Beav? You seem to find yourself in all the most wonderful rugby touring places in the world.
I don't know how recognising one of our great sporting teams is now an attack on me.
There must have been an All Black clinic over there or something.
Exactly,
I have been very close to that part of the world, but...
not this time around.
Not this year.
Okay, well, it is time now for the debate segment, the full 80. And given how the show has already gone, I cannot wait for this. Jipper, you're going to be our adjudicator
already
today.
Got my little columns.
Look at him go.
Beaver.
He's actually organised. If you need a reminder of how this segment works, we give these guys a topic. They've got 40 seconds each to try and convince the adjudicator here why their argument is best. So, our topic for today, Super Rugby, the finals format needs to change. Beaver, you're saying no?
No.
It doesn't. And Batesy, you're saying it does. So, you can go first. On the count of 3, you've got 40 seconds. Beaver, 3, 2, 1.
For 11 teams, a 3-week competition in the final series is the perfect number. It's not the system's fault, Kirst and Jip, it's the aspect of jeopardy. You need finals games which could go either way. And yes, Batesy's going to argue that we should already be at the semi-final stage because that's when we're going to have games that we're not going to know the answer for. But it's the professional game. We need final series for our TV broadcasters to pay the money to keep the lights on at franchises. And therefore, let's get 6 good teams. Let's lift the standard of the competition and not blame the system itself. That is all I've got to say. Jipper, I rest my case.
Really nice stuff, Beav.
Yep, I'm looking
I
at...
would have loved you to bring the Blues into it somewhere.
No, good, because they're in the semi-finals.
Yeah, so they might get a second
game.
chance, so I'll put the Blues down.
Okay, we'll go over to you. Batesy, your time starts now.
Well, first, Beav, please don't make my argument for me. I don't want to go straight to semi-finals. What I want is I want a top 5. Okay, so if I could have a say here, I'll go top 5. The team that finishes 1 to give them a reward gets the first weekend off. All right? Yes, then what we do is 2 play 3, 4 play 5, and then the winner of 2 and 3, they play number 1. The winner of that, straight into the final. We have a major semi-final and a minor semi-final. I'm not going to get into the details, but it works because it's very complicated. But what I would say is if we need to create a bit of a festival around this. So what I would do it is not only for the Super Rugby, not only for the Aupiki, not only for the development team. Blues were unbeaten, by by the way, in the
Oh, nice.
development
Blues.
team. Got the Blues in. Not only for the developed team, but also for the 20s. They'd all go together in a festival of rugby. Bang.
Is Batesy on a clock?
Yeah, he was. He was overtime.
It's because I had to mention the Blues.
No, and because you'd already made half
You
his
realise our
argument.
adjudicator had to retire from rugby because of concussion attacks. And you're throwing numbers at him like they're going out fast.
Well, I only went over.
Finance accounting degree, me old
I only
mate.
went over because you made my argument for me. I had to retract first before I went forward.
I'll tell you what, that's great captaincy right there, and I feel like you won the argument in the first 10
Well, I'm not
seconds.
sure.
But I'll
Hey,
throw
yeah,
it over.
listen.
I agree.
Throw it
Kirst,
over
wrap
to
it
our
up. Good
judge.
show. Good show.
Well, I think you've got some good points around broadcast and not removing games.
Thank you.
It's
We all
already
want
a
to keep
signed
our
deal.
jobs, do we?
It's a side deal, and I like the idea of having the 6 because it keeps interest for the team. You remember when it was Moana Pasifika and the Blues, and it kept that hype around that 6th spot.
Did right.
But I do like the 1 week off, the 2 versus 3, 1 to 2. They go straight through, and then it's a fight off. I like it, but
What about the Festival of Rugby? That was great.
it was really good. It was
I'd
really
already
good.
switched off
Okay, so
by then.
who's our winner?
You'll stick with Auckland, mate.
I'm gonna go with
Shocker.
Beaver.
Deserved.
I'm never ever doing this again. I'm never doing. Mate, I got a points decision. I won every round, and I still lost.
No,
Never doing this again.
It's the jeopardy.
Never doing this
Jeopardy. It's the jeopardy for me.
Oh, there you go. Keeping Super Rugby, the finals format, exactly as it is. Well done, Beav. Anyone in that seat? That's the first time I think that seat has
Yeah, this
actually
seat
won.
never wins, yeah.
That seat never ever.
What about his passive aggressiveness as well? It was like he was trying to convince me out of it. I was like, no, I need to stick with my gut.
Good on you. Okay, let's take a look at our breakdown team of the week. As always, these guys were divvied up certain positions. Jip, we'll start off with you. You went tight 5, so who are your highlights in there?
Oh, Naitoa Akoi for me. I thought Tyrone Thompson was massive. Profit Calder came on early with Newell. Hannah had a strong game, but Naitoa Akoi, he had 18 tackles out of 18. He had 11 touches, ball in hand. He had 30 rucks hit, 25 out of 26 of those in the first 3 on attack. When he went into the defensive breakdown, the 4 times he did, he came away with either slow ball or a turnover. He got the meat pie, clinical at the line-out time. He couldn't have done much more. He's having such a strong season. And we talked about the locks earlier in the piece. He is just making a great fist of it.
But remember, he was in and around that All Black environment last year.
Yeah, for the Wellington test last year. So he's been knocking on the door. He's been strong at NPC. Batesy, you would have reviewed him like he's there. I just think he's there, and this may be the opportunity that
He's a menace, defensive line out. He is a menace. He moves so quickly.
Okay, Bates, I can't wait for this. You get to bounce back from the full 80, but you've picked the 9s and 10s.
I'm still sulking.
He's turned his back on me.
9s and 10s and the Lucies. Who have you gone?
Let's go for the Lucies. Like for me, we've got Christian at blindside flanker. He was outstanding on the weekend. Just watch his interlink play. I thought it was outstanding. I think his work rate, his time on task was great. Also, what I would say, Wallace, just for his raw power at number 8. I thought he was outstanding. Jerome for the Chiefs, number 7 as well. Just the amount of work and toughness that he got through. Pellegrini, I think he scored 2 tries and then an assist for Moana. And then Hotham. I thought Hotham, they had a lot of front football. They did have a lot of front football, but geez, he played really well off that front football.
Thumbs up. Wallace is captain of the Chiefs. You like it? That move?
He's a great leader.
Love it.
He's a great leader. Mind you, Luke's not a bad leader too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, not too bad. You have midfield and back 3B.
Yeah, midfield and back 3. And the one being highlighted here is Severi. So I don't have quite as many stats as Jip, but he scored 3 tries. I think I know that.
And a conversion.
And a conversion. But it's his work rate. Like, he's got these brilliant moments, but the fact that he is where he is doing that sort of stuff, he is absolutely everywhere. He's got X factor, and I sort of touched on at the start of the show. He feels like he's the heartbeat of the Crusaders. When he's up and about and getting niggly and chahooing tries, it looks like everyone flows with him. So he's a special footballer, and he's going to be missed down there, but he's got another home game this week.
Okay, well, let's quickly prediction of round 1 of the playoffs. Is there an upset? And when you talk upsets, it's probably one of those Australian teams. Can you see one of those 2 Australian teams beating 1 or 2, Chiefs or the Canes? Who's the most likely, if any?
I was just going to say no and move on, but who's the most likely?
Probably the Reds.
The Reds?
Yeah,
more
because they
likely?
won in Taranaki.
Oh, yes, but no.
Reds and Hamilton.
Yeah.
But there's no
Blues
way.
or Chiefs, because they're playing to see who plays the Chiefs
They
and
both
who
move
plays.
the ball well, though, don't they? The Reds can move the ball.
I can't see the Brumbies getting near the Hurricanes.
We needed more time here. But hey, brilliant to have you two back on. Sorry about that, Batesy. We hope you do come back for another full 80. Well done to you, Beat. And thank you. We'll see you again next week. Enjoy the playoffs.
Is this a magical moment coming in? Yes! Williams and Sonny Bill under the post he goes.
Have you ever seen that before in this boat?
After got it, and he put it straight into the arms of Corey Jane. And this time he scores.
They get it wide. Hat-trick! Hat-trick for Caleb Clark. 21 years of waiting come to an end.
And the celebrations begin.
And now breaking away is Taylor.